Los indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas.
¿Esto dónde lo dice según el
Esto dice en la Biblia.
To show that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality.
Police attack was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
They're our only resources to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalk, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when you need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we think, what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to a process of arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
Islam, Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Thug. Police Officer Lahab, Officer 5000. You know what I mean? We'll be back live for the Inconvenient Truth. You know what I mean? We got Police Officer Malakma right here.
What's going down? What's going down? That's another, back at it again, the Inconvenient Truth. It's been a minute, right?
That's right, man. It's been a minute since we did the Inconvenient Truth, man. We also got Precinct Officer Kodashi Allah.
What's going on, Israel? ISUPK in the building under Commander General and Yohana. Just another breakdown for the people and bringing this truth and knowledge out to you right now. Shalom.
Damn right. So we back at it, man. Inconvenient Truth out of the West Coast. You know what I mean? We back, man. And so what we talking about? Malak, man. I know we got the Dodgers, right?
Right.
We got the Dodgers. We got the Chavez Ravine. What else we got? We got the Donald Trump supporters. But before we jump into that, we're gonna touch on the Dodgers, right? We're gonna touch on the Dodgers, and we know that Chicanos, right? Chicanos are big on the Dodgers. Dodger blue. You know what I mean? Going to the Dodger games, and they live and die for the Dodgers. You know what I mean? But what's the truth behind the Dodgers, man? What's the truth behind the Dodger Stadium? For those of you who are Mexican American, Chicano, and you will die hard Dodger fan.
Right.
Have you looked into the history of the Dodger Stadium? You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you look into that history, right? You look into the history of the Dodger Stadium. There's no way you can be pro raza. You can't be down for Mexicans and down for Chicanos and love your people, and at the same time be a Dodger fan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hypocrisy. And why do I say that? Because the Dodger Stadium is built on land that was taken from Mexicans, that was taken from Chicanos. You know what I'm saying? That Dodger Stadium that you love so much and you love going to, that you live and die for, the blue and white, LA, all that. Listen, man, that Dodger Stadium was built on land that belonged to Mexicans, and that land was taken from them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do your history. Dodger Stadium is built on Chavez Ravine. Never forget that. Never forget where Dodger Stadium is at. It's not Dodger Stadium. It's Chavez Ravine, man. That's where 600 Mexicans live. What? Not even 600. What? Like about 1,000?
It's
A
a
thousand?
good
Close
number.
to a
A lot of
thousand?
good number.
A good number of
Raza.
Mexicans lived there. It was their home, man. It was their home. It was their land, schools, communities, families, right? People knew each other, grew up with each other. All of that was taken from them because they wanted to build a Dodger stadium right there, man. Listen, bro, you can't be a Dodgers fan and say you love Mexicans and still go to that Dodger stadium. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
go ahead, go. Anybody want to hop on? Hop on.
If I could, that would be my question to all the us out there, right? That's all about the Dodgers, think blue. How many of y'all know about the Chavez Ravine? How many of y'all out there know about the history of what it took to build Dodger Stadium? How many of y'all know about the communities that were right there? Little did we know that underneath Dodger Stadium was our very own, for lack of a better term, our own version of Black Wall Street. Three of them, three
Right.
Black Wall Streets. And I use that term because as we're gonna touch on tonight, those communities, what is it? Palo Alto, La Loma, and Bishop, right? Were self-sustaining communities. They had their own school, their own farm, probably had their own business. You think about it, the Terraza had it. Terraza had their own, didn't have to depend on the suppressor for anything, man. And of course, what did the oppressor do? He came in and just, used what's called eminent domain to take the community away from the raza. You know what I mean? Take away their community, take away their land, and then also use false promises to trick many of them into selling their houses, selling their properties to the city so that they can come in and build the stadium.
Right.
So it just shows you, this is why we call the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of, because this is the lies that they do in order to steal from you, to take from you. Go ahead, Kodash.
What? I got it. What?
Good. This is just another example of the community. What's so heavy about what you're saying is this is just another example of the community being torn apart, families being raped and robbed and separated with this oppressor giving false promises, like these project homes that you see now scattered across the cities now. They were promised public project housing, which was never fulfilled. They just were stripped and robbed of their land. And the same land that you go celebrate on is the same land that our people, we would consider this being like a graveyard, because a lot of their spirits were stripped away. A lot of people died during this time. A lot of people were humiliated and televised and ripped out of their home. I believe it was, it said it was May 9th, 1959, where they extracted people from their homes. The last people that didn't want to sell their homes were stripped out of their homes and given promises, and was just sent to the streets, because what they offered them in this time was, I believe it was a sum up to $8,000 to $10,000 to sell their property, but not knowing that when they left their home there in the ravine, that they would go out to the city and still not even be able to afford housing, because the houses that were there were 15,000 and 20,000. So they were still put in a state of still poverty. When this area that was stripped from them, they were thriving, they were living, they were farmers, they had their own school system, they had their own sports and academic system. So to take that from a people and then to put them into a different area or a different way of living, man, that they were basically put in a situation where they would just die off.
Right.
And
right.
you know that's what's so heavy about this is we go and celebrate the Dodger blue and gold blue and this fan base, but yet we don't know what it took and how much was taken from the Mexican culture during this time of them structuring this stadium.
Right. And then, you know, one thing we can all learn from this, Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, West Indians, is what the oppressor did to our people at Chavez Ravine is what he did to all the tribes. What he did to all people who are from, you know, Black and Hispanic, Native American Indian heritage. You know what I mean? Like, we can all share this, which is what the oppressor coming to our land and taking something from us, taking our land, taking our culture, so that he can benefit from it, so he can get money, so he can get wealth. And while we go to the bottom, if I wanted to pull a scripture, if I could, if I can get Obadiah 1:6, let me get Obadiah 1:6, and that's what the oppressor does, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just takes from us. You know what I mean? What was Chavez Ravine? You take a look at Chavez Ravine. Take a good look. Look up images of Chavez Ravine and what it looked like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go take a look at it. Like, he can't find a better spot than that. That Chavez Ravine belonged to us. You know what I mean? That was for Mexicans, Chicanos, Latinos, man. That's what belonged to us. A community that belonged to us.
Right.
And he decides to do what? You know what? Let's take that too. We already done took America. We already done took the land from the Native American Indians. We already took California. We already took New Mexico and Texas. We already took Nevada. What more should we take? I know what. Let's take Chavez Ravine too.
Right.
Now, you know what? Let's take that from them and let's build a stadium over there so that I can get wealthy, so I can get money. And let's make them more what? More poor. Let's put them in poverty. You know, let's put them in poverty more. You know what I mean? And if I could get that precept real quick,
This comes from the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out?
Mm-hmm.
How are his hidden things sorted out?
Keep going.
Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders.
Keep going.
The man that were at peace or thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat that bread have laid a wound under thee.
Keep going.
There is none understanding in him.
Keep going.
Verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom?
Okay, I'm looking for the precept that says that if a thief would he not take? Let me find that. It's in Obadiah, maybe 1:4. You know what I'm looking for, Malakma?
I think so.
I think
Just look for thief. Go ahead.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art they cut off? Would they not have stolen till they have enough?
And that's a thief right there, right? You know what a thief does? A thief takes what he wants. You know, he like just imagine this. Just imagine a thief. He break into your house. What's the thief gonna take? He gonna take your TV.
Right.
He gonna take your TV. Might look for some jewelry. And you know what he gonna do? Hey, let me get up out of here. You know, let me get up out of here quick. Let me get that TV. Let me get that jewelry real quick, and let me get the hell out of here before I get caught. Right. Keep reading on that.
Go ahead, Kotash.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Would they not have what?
Stolen till they had enough.
Till they have enough, right? That's what a thief does. But you know what the oppressor does? He steals everything. He steals not just the TV, not just the jewelry, but he gonna take your whole house. Do you know what I mean? That's what he do. He takes everything. He don't leave you with he leaves you with zero. You understand? That's why I'm saying that when the Europeans, the oppressor, he came to the Americas, he didn't just take the states. He took the little that we have. You know what I'm saying? He took the country, he took the states, and then the little property that we had, you know, he stole that too, which is Chavez Ravine. That's an example. He took Chavez Ravine. That was the little bit that we had. That was our little community, you know, where we dwelt. And he stole more than what he should have. You know. Keep going. Is there any more on that?
You got
just on that same precept. You can just keep reading. On that.
It says, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
There you go. Grape gatherers, would they not leave some grapes? Keep going.
Verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out?
Of who?
How are the things of Esau searched out?
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Esau, right?
Right.
Which is the biblical name for the Caucasian man.
Right.
That man, he don't leave nothing for you. You understand? He gonna take everything in sight, take everything that you have, and leave you with zero. And that's what happened to our people in Chavez Ravine, man. You know what I'm saying? They took that land, built Dodger Stadium on top of that, and now look where we're at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're in some ghetto, some other ghetto, you know, on some other block, on some other street. And they're taking that too. You get what I mean? Like if you in LA, most blacks and Hispanics dwell where? Where they live at? They live in South Central. They live, you know, they live in Compton. They live in Watts. They live in Koreatown. They live where? You know, Downey. And they're lifting the prices on those cities too. So you can move where? To Lancaster. So you can move to where? Palmdale. So you can move to where? Hesperia. And soon they'll take that too.
Right.
It's like, yo, you want to hop on?
Hold on, just.
If not, just gonna go in the article.
What's so heavy about what you're saying is, I got a precept for this real quick, and exactly what you're speaking on, because, you know, this so-called oppressor, man, he is a diabolical creature, you know.
It's like you sent me the article?
And everything that he does, he absorbs, you know, he sucks the land dry. And I got a precept that it fits exactly what is going on. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. And it says, and they cover the fields and take them by violence. And see, this oppressor took Chavez Ravine. He took it in lies. He took it in deceit just to build, like you said, his own wealth. And it says, you take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man of his heritage. So the heritage that he took was Hispanic man's land, man. He took the land right up under him. He took it by force. He raped and robbed and took women and children out of their home. And this is the scripture speaking right here. It said he oppresses a man in his own house. That's why right now you have no rights in your own home. They can send the law into your home right now, and all they have to say is they got a call, they had something suspicious, and they could come right into your home, the same home that you rent, pay your bills, pay your taxes. They don't give a damn about that. They can come right on your own land, and with their law, deceiving and manipulating the system according to their own will, and take you right out of your home and arrest you. Well, at this time in Chavez Ravine, our people was raped and robbed and lied to, and children and women and men were stripped out of their home, of their heritage, of their culture, of their way of life. So you can't believe nothing that Esau, the so-called white man, says.
Right. And the other two, remember we was talking about this too, Black Man. We was talking about how like a lot of Dodger fans like they don't care about what happened in Chavez Ravine.
Right.
Like, they don't care. Like they'll be like you can bring it up to them, they'll be like, well that happened what? What 80 years ago?
Right.
It don't matter
so
no more.
Ago. Yeah, right.
It don't matter no more. It happened a long time. It happened a long time ago. But there's a lot of Mexicans that talk about the Palestinians.
Right.
How what the Jewish man doing to them is wrong. How taking their land is wrong. Bulldozing their homes is wrong. They shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
They're evil for doing that. It's wrong that the Jewish man takes the land for the Palestinians.
Right.
How could they do that? But when you bring up what happened to their people and you bring up how the same oppressor bulldozed their homes, took their homes and took their land, their response is, hey, man, that was a while ago, though, man. You need to move on from that, I'm trying to go watch the Dodger game. You over here trying to talk about history. Like, like you trying to talk about something that happened 80 years ago, man. That don't matter. The Dodgers is playing right now. Don't talk about that right now. There's other things going on,
Right.
The Dodger game is more important. You understand? But they feel that the oppression of the Palestinians is more important than what happened to our people 80 years ago.
Right.
So let's get on this article real quick and let's see
Let's
see what's going on. This is just one article out of 1,000 that you can find.
Right.
There's one article. You can find videos. You can find footage on what happened at Chavez Ravine. Go ahead. All
right. This article is titled "The Ugly, Violent Clearing of Chavez Ravine Before It Was Home to the Dodgers."
Before it was home to the Dodgers.
And
go ahead. No, my bad.
No, you good, sir. If I could, real quick, just want to say this image right here is infamous with Chavez Ravine, and you can see the Judas, the police, right there. They're dragging this sister away from because she was one of the people that did not want to give up her property. She didn't want to give up her home. So of course they had to come in and force her out.
And just real quick, quick. Just take a quick look at the image.
Right.
Does that happen today?
It happens today.
Does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it happens today.
9 years ago? And this is still happening today? Some cop grabbing some Hispanic woman?
Right.
And then what are they going to do? Throw her on the ground? Beat her?
Right.
You understand?
Lock the kids up in the cages.
Lock the kids up in the cages.
Right.
But they're removing her from her home because she refused to leave.
Right.
She didn't want to leave. They're talking about they want to build a Dodger Stadium in her land. And she says, I'm not leaving my land for some stadium.
Right.
And so what they do? They removed her. They went to her house, grabbed her, and threw her out.
Right.
And then did what? Let's keep reading this slide. I'm not going to jump the gun.
No sweat. May 8th, 1959. Several Chavez Ravine residents fought eviction, including Aurora Vargas, who vowed that they'll have to carry me out. LA County sheriffs forcibly removed Vargas from her home. Bulldozers then knocked over the few remaining dwellings. 4 months later, groundbreaking for Dodger Stadium began. 4 months later,
4 months later, and that's your history right there. That's how the Dodger Stadium was built. Our people had to leave that land.
Right.
They had to leave their homes so you can watch a stupid game. You know what I'm saying? And to add to it, you're paying what, $50 for a hot dog?
A Dodger dog.
$50 for a Dodger dog, $40, $30, whatever. For some popcorn. $20 for a beer. $40 for a hot dog, $50 for some popcorn, and who knows how much the tickets are. I ain't never bought a ticket for the Dodgers ever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never even seen the Dodger Stadium. That's just my experience. Y'all probably seen the Dodger Stadium. Y'all been to the Dodger game before?
If I could, I don't want. You know what's crazy? So I never knew about the Chavez Ravine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I never knew about the history of it or what it was. You know, I did not have any idea that before, you know, Dodger Stadium was right there. It was a thriving community.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being taken to my first Dodger game, right? My brother-in-law at the time, he was telling me about the Chavez Ravine, you know,
Okay.
on our way to a Dodger game,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just ironic now, but it's crazy that when you go out there, you go to what's it called, Elysian Park,
Yeah.
and you go to that, it's like it's like completely gone. There's no evidence of the communities ever being there once. You know what I mean? So this oppressor just came in, destroyed everything, and then put the stadium.
Right.
And that's if I may, and that's what's so heavy about what you're saying is because this is what he's been doing since the beginning of time. He's been taking, he's been robbing, he's been lying, and what he does to cover it up is he just makes it though it never existed. And a lot of our history is right here in the scriptures. You know, a lot of our people don't understand that the Bible is about our people. It's about blacks, Hispanic, and Native, you know, thriving and at one point being raped and robbed and taken of their goods by the oppressor. Let's just say, for instance, you can be affected just like the people that was in Chavez Ravine. They can come and bulldoze your home. They can bulldoze your street. They can bulldoze your neighborhood and move you right up out of there. And the next thing you know, you living somewhere in the desert. So it can be affecting you as well. It doesn't have to affect you right now, and because it affected the people back then, for you to care about your people. You know, it's not about going to watch a Dodger game. It's not about being a Dodger fan. It's about building your culture. It's about knowing your history. It's about thriving to build your people up in the community. And that's what we're here to get this message to let you know about Chavez Ravine, you know, and that's heavy.
Another thing too, like you really think about it, like so they feel they can come to your neighborhood, bulldoze your homes, and build on top of it, right?
Right.
They feel they can do that. But what about the Mexicans that put up a little taco spot right in front of their little business area?
God forbid.
God forbid that you can't get a Mexican who gets his little taco stand, right? Little taco stand, and you know, little grill something up, get some money. If you do that in their neighborhood, oh my God, they're like, call the cops.
Right.
You know, where's your permits? Why are you here?
Just like
you know,
that.
Oh, you gotta leave. You know, you can't be here. That's how they feel off of a couple of Hispanics, couple Mexicans, couple, you know, Latinos putting up a taco stand. But on the other hand, they can go to your land and take it, bulldoze your homes, take the land, and build a stadium, and tell you forget about it.
Right.
Well,
you're not allowed to be mad about it. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to be upset about what was done. You know, you got to get over it and forgive. Right. You can't have hate in your heart.
They're saying, look, we built you guys a stadium, though. You know, we built you guys a stadium so you guys can come and pay $50 for a Dodger dog and your popcorn, right. And, you know, come get drunk. Like, they make it seem like they're looking out for you.
Right.
You know, we got to do better than that, man. You understand?
I got a scripture for that if I could, real quick.
Go ahead, Malam. You what you pulling up?
So right now, as you brothers are talking, right, I'm showing images of Chavez Ravine, right, of the communities and the destruction, you know, that took place.
You can leave that picture right there. Go back. That's an actual photo?
It's an actual photo.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
So that's what we had right there. And what you seeing right here? Family.
That's a whole entire
That's a
family.
whole family right there in Chavez Ravine.
Right.
What's that cat's name? Sean? Oh, not Sean. O'Malley. What's the name though? O'Malley, the Dodgers owner.
Something O'Malley.
Something O'Malley.
Yeah, he felt it necessary to, you know.
You gotta get his name though. Look. Oh, I'm trying to find his name.
Was it Dodger owner?
Dodger owner.
Yeah.
He's the one that moved it from the Brooklyn to LA. Oh, Walter.
Walter
O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Walter O'Malley. Put his face up too. Put his face up first, and then let's go back to the family. We're gonna show you the face of a devil,
What's that?
and there's many of them,
Right.
but we're gonna show you one.
This is him right here.
You want to get that one with the shovel?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find right now.
You could probably just put shovel, right there where you search.
He
Put
might
shovel.
have shared him. Sent it to me right here.
Here he is, right here.
That's the one right there.
Where'd you find that on, Badash?
It was just already in the chat.
Oh, okay.
But this is a picture of his devil, as you can see.
Hold on, he let him pull it up on his phone.
But while we waiting, I got a scripture I can bring out.
Go ahead.
It's come from the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. It said, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their owners, shepherds, pick them not. So this land that they took, they say it's a blessing, man. Thank the Lord that we was able to move these people up out of here,
right,
and gain the wealth from off their struggle, gain the wealth off of their property. And guess what? Since you're such a good people, you could come spend your money and buy up these Dodger tickets. And you know what's the crazy thing about it is, we got some loyal Latino people that got season tickets, man. Season tickets.
What does that mean though?
That's like they got round trip tickets, man. Like every game, they're supporting this oppressor O'Malley, Walter O'Malley. They're supporting his lineage. But yet your people, you say, that's old, man. We ain't worried about what happened then. We worried about season tickets and who's gonna make the playoffs and if we're gonna win the World Series.
Did you make that like a bigger? Yeah. I want to see his face.
And you know what? Say the Dodgers win the World Series, right? Let's just say they win the World Series. Who's going to reap the benefit of them winning the World Series?
Right.
Is it our people? Are they going to give? You know what would be good? If they won the World Series, they donate money to all the people that lost their homes from building that stadium. You think they would do that? No.
They too. Let me add this to it. Like a lot of people are all fired up because Ice Cube did a song, at the Dodger game, talking about bow down when you come to our town.
Right.
Bow down when you come to our town.
Right.
Let me tell you something. This European, this oppressor, he came to our town and made us all bow down.
Right.
And took everything from us. You know what I mean? And I know it look good on TV, you're from the West Coast, but take a look at him real quick and look what's on his shovel. That's the thing that's crazy right there. Look on his shovel because you know what he's doing? He's boasting about it.
Right. Bow down to that.
There you go. Bow down to that. But look at that though. He put Dodgers, Chavez, Ravine.
Crazy.
Like saying, I took that from you. I'm gonna make money from that.
Right.
And he did not give a fuck about none of the Mexicans that were living on that land.
Right.
He did not care about the Hispanic families that lived in Chavez Ravine.
Right.
He didn't care. He knew there were people living on that land. And you know what he did? He pressed the issue to take it from them.
Right.
So that he can have his Dodger Stadium and make money. He gets wealthy. Now here's the $1 million question. Where did they go? You know what I mean? Where are the Hispanic families that were living in Chavez Ravine? Where did they go? What happened to them after that?
Where,
you know what I mean? What happened? Did he look out for them? Did he kick them out and be like, you know what? I know I done kicked you out your land, but you know what? Here's another. I done made $3-4 million off of your land. Here's 100,000. Here's 200,000. Here's 300,000. Because I know I took that from you. He didn't care.
Right.
But you know what he did do? He did get a shovel, and it put Dodgers, Chavez, Ravine, and put the year that he took it from them.
Right.
So now where we at? 2024, and you Mexican, and you proud to be a Dodgers fan. You got your Dodgers jersey, Dodger flags, Dodger stickers. You die hard, man. Like being a Dodgers fan is equivalent to being a Trump supporter.
Right.
It's damn near the same thing, you know. But the thing is that a lot of Dodgers fans, y'all don't know about the history of what happened in that stadium. You know, y'all never looked into it. But you should look into it and see what really happened. And after you look into that history, most of us who have like, you know, a compassion, you know, or love for your people should be like, you know what? F the Dodgers, man. You know what? I'm going to throw away all my Dodgers stuff, Dodgers jersey, Dodgers clothes, Dodgers stickers. And you know what? I ain't never buying a Dodger ticket again. I'm going to leave that alone. Because you know what? They took that land from my people. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The Jewish man, he won't ever buy what? He won't
Never
ever buy
buy
a
BMW,
Mercedes.
right?
A Mercedes or a BMW. You know why? Because he loves his people.
If I could,
go ahead, you got it.
The Jewish man will never forget the Holocaust.
He'll never forget the Holocaust.
He'll never forget the Holocaust. He'll never forget any atrocity done to him. You know what I mean? Never forget. You can't even speak ill of them and to have an issue about it.
Right.
Us, you can mistreat us. You can steal our land. You can steal our towns, and we still gonna love you.
We're gonna say what? Oh, that's in the past.
It's in the past. I can't have hate in my heart. You know, I don't want to have unaliving in my heart. So yeah. I can't hate you, America. I can't hate you, Gringo, for taking my, you know, for the wrong that you've done to me. I still love you. That's the attitude we have to have.
The Jewish man, the Armenians, they don't forget about their genocides. They don't forget about what happened to them. But when it comes to Chicanos, it comes to Mexicans, Latinos, we forget and we move on. And then we don't want to bring it up. We don't want to bring up what happened to us, man. But you know what? For those of the few of us, we're going to bring it up, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our history and what they did to us. All right, let's keep going, though. Let's keep going on that article.
Concert. It's like right quick. All right. So
it's like the brother had a precept, though. You want to expound on that precept?
What's the precept about?
Go ahead.
What is it?
It was Zechariah 11:5.
All right, let me get there right quick.
Well, Zechariah 11:5. You know what I mean? Who's possesses? You put who's possesses slaves, right?
Right. And what's so heavy? I'm just sitting here reading another article about how the reason why some of the people that were in Chavez Ravine was because they were incriminated. You know what I'm saying? And throughout Los Angeles, they were incriminated. So some of them couldn't afford the luxury of some of the homes in the inner city. So they was forced to a certain area to where they could afford, and they did farming work, and they made their own money in these places. So it says the people of Chavez Ravine were evicted from their homes and displaced to another area in the 1950s to make way for Dodger Stadium. Mm-hmm. So this thing was just it was orchestrated. You know, they brought this team here unaware of where they was gonna put this team, but they said, well, these people over here, we can promise them public housing because they're already rejected by the inner city and they're already discriminated. So let's take this land from them, promise them public housing. Then when it's time for us to build the stadium, we'll back out on our promise.
Right.
And therefore, we leave these 300 some odd families in the streets with nowhere to go.
Damn right.
So they already had this orchestrated. And see, the thing is, the so-called oppressor, so-called white man, he doesn't care about where our people go. Just like in this time now, he doesn't care about the community needing help, or he doesn't care about, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indigenous man. The same thing he did to the Native Americans, he did here to Chavez Ravine. He stripped the Native Americans of their land and put them on reservations and made false promises to them as well. So this is a pattern of what his work is,
Right. And just to kind of like double back on what you're saying though, like that's why it's kind of not kind of, but it's an idiotic thing for us to fight amongst each other.
Right.
It's a very stupid thing for Puerto Ricans to hate Mexicans and Mexicans to hate Puerto Ricans.
Right.
For blacks to hate Mexicans and Mexicans hate blacks.
Right.
Central Americans hate Mexicans and Mexicans hate Central Americans. That's a stupid thing. You know why? Because we're all of us are people who are oppressed by the same people.
Exactly.
You understand? Like the European came and took this land from us, oppressed us, murdered us, unalived us, raped us, stole from us, and we had this hatred towards each other.
Right.
We hate each other and we fight
Right.
with each other.
Right.
And then we ain't never thought like, damn, like, you know what? He's the reason why that this is like this. He's the reason why we, live the way we live.
Right.
Not just now, but he's the reason why we've been in this condition for the past 500 years, 400 years.
Exactly.
Right.
And this what we're looking at in Chavez Ravine is just a small. I don't want to call it small, but
it's just
this is a portion of it. Because this what you're reading and what you're seeing is something that's happened time and time and time after time. With the Puerto Ricans, with the blacks, with the Mexicans, with the Salvadorians, with the Guatemalans, with the Brazilians, with the people of Cuba, right? This happens to all of us,
right?
And no one wants to talk about it. And when we do talk about it, they want to say it's in the past. They want to say, man, like, you gotta get over that. You understand? But I want to point out this picture real quick. If you get back to it, Mom Lakma.
So right here, the cops.
The one before. We'll slide through all these pictures. The one more back, and that's what was in Chavez Ravine right there. Because they're trying to make it seem like there was nobody in Chavez Ravine. That was just land that was unoccupied.
Right.
That was in Chavez Ravine right there.
Right.
You have a grandpa, you got a father, you got a mother, you got kids. You had families right there. You had neighbors. You had, these families had bonds with each other.
Right.
And Walter O'Malley, he don't care about none of that.
Right.
To him, that land is unoccupied.
Right.
It's just a bunch of Mexicans living there. Don't worry about that. What's gonna happen if I take their land? Nothing.
Right.
So let's just go ahead and take it.
Right.
Ain't no one there really. Really ain't nobody's there. So let's just take the land and build the stadium. But that's what he took. He took land from them. And you know what? That's our family right there.
Right.
Like Mexican, if you Mexican, that's your cousin, that's your aunt, that's your uncle.
Right.
That's your blood. That's your family right there. So how are you gonna say you don't care? When they live the same life that we all live. Let's keep going. What's the next picture?
Let's see. Next picture is, sir. That was the. Is this? This is what we fought for. That's heavy. You know what I mean? This is what we fought for, meaning that they're probably fought in the wars, war veterans. A lot of that's
Okay,
fought
got
in World
you.
War II. Where, all the wars, the Korean War, the Vietnam War.
This is after World War II.
Come.
I want to say this is after World War II.
Right.
That's okay. Leave it there. Leave it. So he's saying this is what we fought for. So you had, of course, a lot of Mexicans that fought in World War II and came back, and came back for someone to take their land.
Right.
They went out there and fought the Nazis. Goddamn.
Right.
They went and fought the Nazis and the Japanese. Damn near lost their head, their ears, and fingers, and life. They come back thinking like, okay, I don't fight for my country. To come to that.
Right.
To come to some cat saying, you know what, we're taking your land because we want to build a Dodger Stadium here.
Right.
That's insane.
It's insane. I don't want.
It's not even saying it's disrespectful, man, because that's how they feel about you. You go sacrifice your life for your country, and then when you come back, they take your land and leave you for what? For nothing. So what was you gonna say?
And what's so heavy on that is that's still happening today.
Right.
Our people are foolish to enlist in this military and think that they will be considered a equal. Our people wants to live up this hype, man, and they want to be accepted. And what you got to understand is you'll never be accepted because why? You're a second-class citizen. You understand? Right. You'll never be accepted. I don't give a damn if you're fighting his war. I don't give a damn if you work for his company. I don't give a damn if you're in this industry making music. Because our people are good with making music. Blacks and Hispanic making rap, making hip hop. And guess what? Who is the owners of this companies? Who are the owners of these record labels? Who are the head of these militaries? It's not our people. And we got to understand that this is the tricks and trades of this wicked system. This system is not here for you to be growing in. You're not going to thrive in this system. This system is nothing but lies, and it's nothing but deceit. And as long as our people are following the ways of this oppressor, you're going to be raped and robbed and pillaged each and every time. You're going to be deceived. You're going to be stripped of your wages. And once you go serve in their military and you finally come back home, you're going to come back home to what they came back to, lies. You're going to come back to maybe being stripped of your home. You're going to come back to maybe your family being put out to the streets.
Right.
So this is not nothing that's like the scripture said, and I'm paraphrasing, it's nothing new under the sun. You understand? And Esau and Satan, the devil, deceivers, have been a liar since the beginning. His father is a liar. And this is why the Bible says that the devil is the white man. And that's all I have to say.
No, damn right. The devil is the white man. And the proof of it is right there at the picture we're looking at right here. Can you zoom in a little bit out?
Come on, sir.
Let's zoom in at this picture real quick. And look at that.
We could just look at
look at the land though too. Look at the land that they're at. The land's right there. And the cops got some woman handcuffed.
Right.
And some sister right there trying to protect her mom or wondering like what is going on and what's happening.
Right.
Just it's sad, man. It's sad that our people have to come to such circumstances, and they say that we don't have to worry about that because that's old. But look at these pictures. Look at that land. It's heavy what you speak. Just look at the pictures, y'all. This land was thriving.
Right.
We didn't need no help from no outside. We didn't need no influence. That's just like somebody coming into your circle, coming into your home, and turning over tables and turning over land that is already good land, and then tell you you gotta go after you have thrived off this land for years. Now they come and strip you of everything you know. Look at these people, man. These are your people. This is our people. This is your aunt. This is your mom. This is your dad. This is your daughter. Because right now, this can happen to you. And don't think it can't, because we're in perilous times. So the same thing that can happen then, that did happen then, can happen now, and it's coming. So don't be rocked back to sleep. Look at these pictures, man. This should let you know who we dealing with, what system we dealing with. This is a system that doesn't give a damn about you.
And what you're saying is heavy out because like what pretty much what you're saying, Knock, is gentrification.
Just
Right.
like that.
That's what that is, gentrification. So the cops don't need to go to your house no more and and remove you physically. All they're gonna do is just raise the rent.
Just
You
like
know,
that.
raise the
Right.
rent and make your housing unaffordable. And the people that can afford it will buy your house.
And it's not your people.
And exactly, it ain't your people. You get what I'm saying? And that's funny that remember that movie Boys in the Hood
Right.
when the father take the kids to see the billboard.
Right.
And he said they gonna they pretty much gonna take your city, take your neighborhood. And listen, man, I come from Pasadena, and I remember Pasadena was black and Hispanic, all black and Hispanic. And now, man, it's not the way it used to be. And that's every neighborhood, whether you're in the outskirts of LA or in LA, they done made housing unaffordable. And that's why I was saying earlier that all of our people moved to where? San Bernardino, to Hesperia, Victorville. That's Victorville. That's what I was thinking about, Victorville, you know. And who trying to live out there? Ain't nothing out there.
Nobody trying to live out there.
Ain't no one trying to live out there. You know what I mean? But that's what. And then take it for themselves. And that's been an ongoing thing. Go ahead,
you know what's Salakia? I don't worry if I could.
You got
what's so heavy is, man, I literally go back and forth to work, and I slowly and but surely see new buildings being built in the community. You got, a rundown building here and there, but then you got these new buildings that are popping up in the inner city. And see, what they're doing is they're building these new apartment complexes right in your community. Then they'll build another one, and then they'll build another one. And then after so long is, guess what? Your job, you're working as a minority, can't afford these buildings. You know why? Because the rent is $22 to $25 to $3,000 a month.
Right.
So guess what? Now you gotta go, right? Like you said, you're in Lancaster, you're in goddamn Victorville and Hesperia, Barstow. You're out in these different areas where there's nothing out there. So basically, they're putting you in a position where you cannot thrive, and their people are being moved in to where they can thrive. So it's crazy, man, because we haven't learned from that yet. We still want to be like the white man. We still want to follow his ways. We still want to fit into his social groups. We still want to not recognize what our people have actually gone through, man. And we sweep it under the rug by what? Filling up Dodger Stadium, buying out season tickets, Lakers, whatever it is, our people is quick to do. We're quick to follow the trends of the world. You know what I'm saying? And until we understand what we have lost and where we have came from, this is the results of it. This is the results of being robbed of your heritage.
Right, damn right. Let's keep reading on the article.
Concert. So here goes. Let me start it off. Before Dodger Stadium was a legendary baseball venue, it was known as Chavez Ravine. The area was home to generations of families, most of them Mexican American. So, like, let's see real quick. Of course, there's a community. Look at that. Look how beautiful, man. You had a. So, I'll try to show some clips from the the couple of videos I had, but just the whole thing that they touched on, right, is that how beautiful the scenery was in Chavez Ravine, you know, in the neighborhoods of Bishop, La Loma, and Palo Verde. It was, you know, pristine land, as they would call it.
And did you see how they said generations?
Generations, right? Before that, right? The other thing, right? It was before it was colonized by you know, the Spaniards. It was the Tongva tribe, right? They call it Tongva land, and there was like a, you know, a bountiful spot. You know what I mean? Like the land was plentiful right there in that zone.
And what I'm saying with the generations, dog, is that you had what? You had grandfathers,
right,
or great grandfathers,
right,
that passed it to their sons, and then their sons passed it to their sons, and their sons passed it to their sons. So you had generations of people living in Chavez Ravine.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just an empty land. You had people living there for, you know, quite a while.
Right. Okay. After the Dodgers made the deal to ditch Brooklyn, Los Angeles officials used eminent domain and other political machinations to wrest that land away from its owners. Look at that, man. Look at that whole.
Look, those are houses.
Those are houses, man.
Those are houses that are right there on that land. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's, man, you got what, like about 100 houses on that land.
Right.
You know, families living there.
The caption goes, panoramic view of Elysian Heights and Chavez Ravine area as photographed by the Los Angeles City Housing Authority in an effort to document slum conditions, because of course, you know, the people living there were poor.
Right.
And if you notice, America is notorious for waging war on the poor. That's who they target, because that's who they know can't do anything, right?
You know, it's like, just real quick, and I believe this is a time of segregation too.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they know that this is a Mexican neighborhood, right?
Right.
But go ahead, Slide. Let me cut you off, Slide.
I know, sir.
Yeah, that's heavy right there, man.
So what I'm saying is that they know that there isn't white people living in their neighborhood.
Right.
Everything is separate. There is no white people living there. This is an all Mexican neighborhood. And they know that. They clearly know that this is a neighborhood where Mexicans live.
Right.
And they're calling it a slum neighborhood?
A slum neighborhood.
Can't no white man ever call our people slums. Ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Right.
No European can ever call our people slums, call our neighborhood slums, because we're the ones that taught you how to shower. We're the ones that taught you how to use shampoo, conditioner, cologne, you know, how to recycle, clean water, all of that. It's like you know what I mean? How to add that, because they're calling our neighborhood slums, you know? Right. But go ahead, Blackma.
Now, I was going to say, what did they say today about Latino America and South America? What they call them? Shithole countries.
Shithole countries, third world.
Third world. But yet they go into those countries and set up, and, you know, they work remotely. They buy an apartment out there. Then they all start coming in. Then they raise the price on the area. Then they force the locals out. They're gentrified. You know what I mean? Like that's they'll call it ugly. So they can come in for, you know, while you know it's affordable, take what they can and then make it expensive so that you can't come and get it back.
Right. So then these oppressors, Europeans, Caucasians,
Americans,
they leave their own country and go into Mexico and start doing the same thing over there.
Right.
Like, we're gonna take this too, which is a whole. We'll touch on that too, but we'll touch on how they're doing that in Mexico City.
Right.
They want to bring the Starbucks and bring their little coffee shops over there. You know, raise the prices. They don't want to hear no Mexican music. They don't want to hear, you know, you playing your music because it's too loud. they don't understand the language, you know, or they don't like the music, so they want you to, you know, stop playing music because you know we're here now, so you need to stop your Mexican music and let us enjoy our time and our vacation over here. You know, that's how he feel. Like he feels superior, entitled, superior. You know, and you know what? It's the same thing in Puerto Rico. You know, you can look at Jake Paul. Jake Paul live in Puerto Rico. He live in that island, and he's doing the same thing to the Puerto Ricans out there. Puerto Ricans don't like Jake Paul because he feels what? Entitled, superior. You know, and that's the way they carry themselves. They look at you as pets. Right. They look at us as pets. You know, and we're good to look at and pet.
Right.
But the minute that you try to show some authority, they're like, whoa, hold on, Mexican, you can't do that to me.
Right, yeah,
you know, I'm white. Right.
Like, hold on.
I'm white. Who are you talking to right now? You know, I'm Bob.
A minute, Rondell.
Right.
But go ahead, Kodash.
We'll pick on what you said. They feel entitled because that's that pride in them. You know what I'm saying? That prideful spirit, because they have taken so much over the years that they feel that like they can do whatever they please. You know, they can go wherever they want. But the fact of the matter is, if they said that our people are scum or we living in scum-like conditions, why is it that they are the main ones that are the culture vultures? They're the ones who want to be like us. They want to dance like us. They want to have the luxury of all the benefits of our struggles. You know, if we're such a people that you would say is low grade or poverty stricken, why is it that you look on every video, every reel, and you see this so-called devil, white man? He dressing like us. He listening to our music. But then when what you said, they go to these different foreign lands, it's like, oh, you can't play your music in your own land. Right. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, if you feel that way, why do you go to these places?
Let me tell you this, real quick. Let me add this to it.
Go ahead.
Like, we're talking about baseball, right?
Right.
We're talking about Dodgers.
Right.
Bro, who thrive in these baseball games?
Right.
Our people.
Our people thrive in these baseball games, boxing, you know, you name it, any sport.
Right.
We thrive in them. I want to say mainly is the tribe of Manessa and Ephraim that thrive in baseball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Come on. Yeah.
They need us in those games.
Right.
Imagine there's Puerto Ricans and Cubans and Mexicans and blacks that say, you know what? We ain't gonna play for the Dodgers. We'll make our own baseball team.
Right.
You know?
Beat all of them.
And see what happens to the Dodgers. The thing is that Mexicans and Israel and Mexicans and Hispanics, Latinos, and blacks were hungry for money, and we'll do anything for it.
Right.
We'll do so much for money that we won't give a damn about our own people. Won't care about our history. We'll forget all of it just so we can, you know, get some money and look out for yourself.
Right.
You know, and that's literally how we are.
Right.
We don't give a damn about our own people. You get some white man.
That's crazy.
You get Walter or O'Malley. He throw you $100K. You're gonna be like, oh, I'll take that, man. Forget all that oppression and all that. All what happened to our people, man. Just give me that $100K and I'll be cool with that.
Right.
And that's what he does to all of us.
Dang.
He gets the strongest. He gets the ones that's most talented. You know, gives you money. Takes you out the neighborhood, takes you out the ghetto, takes you out of Chavez Ravine, takes you out of whatever hood you come from, gives you all kinds of bread, and you forget about, you know, where you came from. Chavez Ravine, man, you can't forget about it, man. We can't forget about it. Yeah. Now we got to keep bringing it up.
Ever.
You understand? Keep bringing it up, throw it in his face, and remind our people what the hell happened there.
Right. What happened?
You know what I mean? What really went on?
What happened? May 9th.
What's like going?
Go ahead. I'm going to continue.
Go ahead.
It's like Chavez, the area's origin. Chavez Ravine was named after Julian Chavez, a rancher who served as assistant mayor, city councilman, and eventually as one of LA County's first supervisors. In 1844, he started buying up land in what was known as the Stone Quarry Hills, an area with several separate ravines. Chavez died of a heart attack in 1879 at the age of 69. Look at that, man.
Yes.
Kids right there.
A group of children, yeah, above caption, a group of children play on the hills above the ravine with a smoggy downtown skyline visible in the background.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And you know what's heavy on that, man, is I think about my children. I think about my brother's children. I think about all our people's children. That is the future, you know what I'm saying? And we think about past time of our people going through this. But now, in this time, our people is still going through this. And we still being subject to payment. We're still the last one hired, the first one fired, you know?
Right.
And that is sad because our people can be thrown a bone, a crumb. You know, they can be given food stamps, stimulus checks.
Right.
And they will sell their people out, man. And the oppressor know this because of what? Because of the way we conduct ourselves as a people, man. We got to start standing up. We got to start understanding the history. We got to start understanding our culture as a unit, man. And it starts right here. It starts right here. And Chavez Ravine, remembering these poverty times that we went through. Because this is home, man. This is our land. You know, this is our land. This land that we stand on. Why you think it's called San Pedro, Santa Monica, Los Angeles? Because this was once our land. And what happened? Our people was manipulated back then and forced out of their land back then. And this is just numerous accounts. It was I'm paraphrasing, but it was an article that I was reading earlier that said you could stand on the top of the hill of Chavez Ravine, and if it was a clear sky on that day, you could see from here to San Pedro. You could see all of Los Angeles. And guess what? That was a beautiful time because our people didn't have to worry about this oppressor coming in and taking what they worked for. They worked for these things. They worked by the straps of their boot. They worked by the blood of that was going through their veins. And this was just a historical thing, man. So inside right now, as I look at some of these pictures, man, I'm deeply hurt because we're still allowing this stuff to happen, man. So
and not only are we allowing it,
right,
but like we're the ones doing it too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how many Hispanic politicians there are that agree with that?
Man.
They're like, yeah, you should take the land. You know, you should take that from them. They're not doing anything with it anyways. You got that one cat, if you can find that video, there's some Hispanic Mexican. And he's telling he's on the news talking about if you let Mexicans come into America, they're gonna build taco trucks everywhere. He said that we're aggressive people, and you have taco trucks in every corner of America if you let them in here. And he's Mexican saying that. You go, let me see. There you go. That's it right there. Oh man. You go ahead and just play the video. I want to hear it.
It's just trying to find one.
I lead an organization whose mission is affordable housing. Prop 33 would sabotage our work to solve the housing crisis. 33 would reduce new construction, making it easier to block affordable housing across the state and creating scarcity.
Okay, let's talk now. Going from Trump's completely failed outreach to Black people to Trump's completely failed outreach to Hispanic people. I'm going to play a clip for you of Joy Reid from MSNBC talking to Marco Gutierrez, the founder of the group Latinos for Trump. Now, we could talk a little bit about the absurdity of a group called Latinos for Trump. Unfortunately, I don't have 10 hours today. We only have an hour for the show. So I'm going to focus on the acute insanity of this clip, where Mr. Gutierrez was asked, what is the risk of Latino Hispanic culture becoming more prevalent in the United States? It's not crime. It's not rape, as Donald Trump might suggest. It's not drugs or criminality. It's tacos, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen to this.
Problems here. We need to reform.
What problems are you talking about?
My culture is a very dominant culture. And it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I have to let Adriano in here. I don't even know what that means, and I'm almost afraid to ask.
I'm offended.
I'll tell you what that means. The Spanish never conquered Mexico. We are a culture that we have a lot of good things that we bring to the United States, but we also have problems. And you guys are going nuts over something that there's a 10th step to this problem. And you guys are already talking about the 10th step. We haven't even started walking this path. And then
let Adriano respond, because we don't have unlimited.
Have you seen the devastating effects of a chicken taco with both cilantro and onions and hot sauce on it? It is destructive.
Dominant culture. And it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I have to let Adriano in here. I don't even know what that means, and I'm almost afraid to ask.
I'm offended.
I'll tell you what that means. The Spanish never conquered Mexico. We are a culture that we have a lot of good things that we bring to the United States, but we also
never came to the Americas and conquered Mexico and Central America and South America. You know, which is
wild, man.
That's some real Uncle Tom Theo Tomas thing to say. And that's why we're the same people, because Judites say the same thing. Black people say the same thing. They try to forget their oppression. That's what they try to forget their oppression, and this is what this guy's trying to do. He's trying to forget what happened during slavery, which Mexicans went into slavery by the Spaniards. Never forget that we went into slavery, and we went into slavery before the black man. We were in slavery. We were in chains. We were getting killed. We were getting murdered. We were getting raped. We were getting enslaved. They were burning us on the stake. They put us on what they hung us by 12 and then burnt us alive. They fed us to dogs. They killed our women. They opened up our pregnant women. And man, the list goes on of everything that they did to us.
Right.
You understand? And he's saying that Mexico was never conquered by the Spanish.
Because he thinks he comes from Spain.
Because he on TV and he trying to press the white folks.
It's like I don't want. We definitely got to touch on this more on, when we speak about, go over the history of the Latinos for Trump on the next episode. But what I would love to touch on, is that his mentality is the mentality of a lot of, people who of the probably of Raza that sold out the Chavez Ravine and let the city come and take it.
Oh, right, most definitely.
This is the same mentality of this is why things like this happen to us, because everyone wants to blame the gang members, the paisas, the cholos. Nah, you Theo Tomases are the reason why we don't get respected in this country. It has nothing to do with every race commits crime.
Right.
Every race has criminals. And we're the only race that gets demonized for it. That's BS, man. The reason why we get demonized and we don't get respected in America is because we take the abuse from America. Right. We don't stand up We don't speak out. We accept it. And any one of our own that speaks out in outrage towards it, you're quick to go discredit them and silence them. That's why things don't change for us. Not because of the criminal element, but because of you, Uncle Toms, you sellouts. You're the reason why things don't change for us and get worse. Salakia.
Oh, no, damn right. Huh?
Just
But no, go back to the video. It's like, just go back to the video real quick.
Let me share it.
Also have problems, and you guys are going nuts over something. That there's a 10th step to this problem, and you guys are already talking about the 10th step. We haven't even started walking this path. And
Let's let Adriana respond because we don't have unlimited.
Have you seen the devastating effects of a chicken taco with both cilantro and onions and hot sauce on it? It is destructive. Surprise, this Latinos for Trump founder is a real estate scammer. Look up his name, Marco Gutierrez.
He is a Mexican from Mexico who eats tacos.
Right.
You know, and his parents are probably, you know,
right.
Somebody that had a taco truck. But he says that if you let Mexicans come into the country, they're aggressive people and they're gonna put taco trucks all over the place. You know. And he's doing that to what? To show white America that, I'm one of the good ones. I'm not like them.
Right.
I'm one of the good, Mexicans. And what the hell do you think they said behind his back or in front of his face?
Right.
Cameras off.
Right.
You think they were referring to him as Juan?
He patriotic.
You know what they look at him as? Like they look at him as a patriotic wetback. That's what they're saying.
That's what you look at him as.
He one of the patriotic spics. You good one. You serve us too, though. Right. You make sure you come. Serve, pour the drink, serve the food.
Right.
And make sure don't look at me too long either. You say what you have to say, but look the other way after you're done.
Make sure you conduct yourself
properly. And make sure you talk right too. You know what I mean? That's how they treat them. I guarantee you that's how they treat them.
Right.
But you want to keep going now? Let's keep reading on that.
By the early 1900s, semi-rural communities had sprung up on the steep terrain, mostly on the ridges between the neighboring sulfur and cemetery ravines. Of course, two little girls, two young and happy residents of Chavez Ravine. Look, another fact, a wedding. Floracano with the best man and another bridesmaid at the wedding in the Chavez Ravine in 1929. About the community, what eventually came to be called Chavez Ravine encompassed about 315 acres and had three main neighborhoods: Palo Verde, La Loma, and Bishop. And there, it's right there. It had a grocery store, a church, and an elementary school. What I say is self-sustaining, Black Wall Street.
Right.
Brown Wall Street with this,
Right. What this is, these are all families that live together. That's the important part.
Yeah, right.
Families and generations. Everybody knew each other over here. They all went to school together.
Right.
That's what they took from them. That's what they destroyed.
Right.
Go ahead.
Many residents grew their own food and raised animals such as pigs, goats, and turkeys. If I could say, what they took from them was their independence.
Right.
That's what they took.
They took a lot of their memories too, as well, because a lot of these families, they grew up from childhood to grown-ups. You had first generation, second generation, third generation families that was being stripped apart. Some of these families had to be relocated that had been living amongst each other for years. And now you have a family on this side of the city, this family on that side of the city, and they cause separation between, loved ones. So this was something real deep, man.
Diabolical. That's what it is. Diabolical.
This right here was just another way that you to kill off a nation, man. You know, if you strip a nation of his way of reproducing, you strip him of his way of making money, his way of making an honest living, and then you take him and put him in another environment from what he's not used to, then how do you expect him to thrive? And this is what they did to these people. Man, they signed them off, man, and they didn't give a damn about where they went. All it was about was what they wanted to do, and they capitalized off our suffering, you know. So this was some diabolical. It was a sad day, man. That's all I can say about that.
If I could, just want to finish reading, right? Many Mexican American families, I hate that term by the way, redlined and prevented from moving into other neighborhoods, established themselves in the Chavez Ravine. So, of course, you were talking about, right? Was during the time of segregation. So residents of the tight-knit community often left their doors unlocked. So look at this. They were talking about crime and saying how impoverished it was. They were leaving their doors unlocked. That means this community was safe.
Right.
The Navarro family posed at their Chavez Ravine home before the relocation to the Willamette Mead Homes housing project in Placito. Navarro lived with her 3 children in their 5-bedroom house. Right. 5-bedroom house.
I would imagine that, like in Chavez Ravine,
which rented at $25 per month. I don't want to lie.
I was gonna say in Chavez Ravine, like they were so close. They were so close, right? They left the doors unlocked because they did what? They trusted each other.
Right.
And I'd imagine that they knew that the danger came from outside Chavez Ravine.
Right.
You know, like downtown LA and other areas in LA. They knew like that's where the danger was. But once you were in Chavez Ravine, like you were safe.
Right.
Everybody knows each other.
Right.
And there's no drugs around at this time.
Right.
Everybody's,
right,
clear-minded, and this is their home.
They're
living. Good.
They left their doors unlocked, like you said, because they felt trust, they felt safe and stability. Check this out. The doors being needing to be locked and crime didn't come until that so-called white man reared his evil face and came into that community. That's when the crime started. And that's when the crime always starts. It's because of the influence of this devil, man. This is why crime is throughout this country. This is why crime is throughout the city. It's because this devil is influencing the atmosphere. Wherever this devil is, things get destroyed.
Right.
The environment gets destroyed. The inhabitant gets destroyed. The agriculture gets destroyed. The wildlife gets destroyed. Everywhere this devil is, the environment is destroyed. So we know who it is. We know who is destroying the things around us. It's time for us to start waking up and understanding. And stop feeding into it. That's the truth about it.
Right. No sweat. The battle over land begins. Outsiders often saw the neighborhood as a slum city. City officials decided that Chavez Ravine was ripe for redevelopment, kicking off a decade-long battle over the land. Look at all that right there.
Yeah.
View of the hillside in Chavez Ravine area in Elysian Park Heights depicts a country-like setting. The housing in the foreground is fenced and has several animal cages. They labeled it blighted and came up with a plan for a massive public housing project known as Elysian Park Heights.
Right.
Designed by architects Robert E. Alexander and Richard Nuetra, and funded in part by federal money. The project was supposed to include more than 1,000 units, 24 13-story buildings, and 160 two-story townhouses, as well as several new schools and playgrounds. So the president just came in and said, we will come in and fix your neighborhood. It's a slum. Let's make it nice for you.
Right.
And of course, it's the image earlier. Well, this is what we fought for. May 11th, 1959, Cruz Cabral, 39, ex-Marine war hero of World War II, as he said, I want, gives moral support to relatives evicted from their houses in Chavez Ravine. His aunt, Miss Abriana Arichiga, 72, shows her his medals. He was wounded 4 times in South Pacific battles. She reared him on sight.
And that shows you too, like that's how they treat their, their veterans. Right. And that going on today, because you can find veterans on the border of Mexico where they're saying like, they got deported, Salaki.
Right.
A lot of Mexicans got deported after fighting for America.
Right.
And that's the whole history right there, man. They that's how they treat Mexicans. That's how they treat us for fighting in their wars.
That's another class.
That's another class right there.
That's
a whole other class. You gonna fight for your country or the country that you think that's yours.
Right.
You go fight, you wear the red, white, and blue, you join the military, you come back, and they deport you right back to your country, Mexico and Central America. Now you're at the border, behind those bars, looking at America, waiting to come back. They don't want you back. They just want you to go fight so they can send you right back when you come home.
Right.
And that's what happened to this cat right here. This cat came back from World War II. Lucky again. Came out from World War II, and look what they did. Look what they did to him. Look at the land behind them. That's all their homes.
Right. Right, sir. Pressure to sell an eminent domain. In the early 1950s, the city began trying to convince Chavez Ravine homeowners to sell. Despite intense pressure, many residents resisted.
Mm-hmm.
Developers offered immediate cash payments to residents for their property. They offered remaining homeowners less money, so residents feared that if they held out, they wouldn't get a fair price. So they're already tricking them into selling, right? Like using fear. Mm-hmm. In other cases, officials used power of eminent domain to acquire plots of land and force residents out of their homes. When they did, they typically lowballed homeowners, offering them far less money than their land was worth. That takes place today. You go to like Highland Park, right? And the whole issue with gentrification, my peoples, they offering them very little for them to sell their house.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're gonna sell that, right? If they sell the house, they sell it to the developer. The developer tears it down, builds a mansion right there, and sells it for $1 million. So there
you go. That's what you want right there.
July 20th, 1953, homeowners from Chavez Ravine, Rose Hills, and Pacoima tell Mayor Norris Polson left to fight on their abandonment of housing projects. So they were going to start the project and they stopped and abandoned it.
Who's that? Who's the guy in the tie?
That's the mayor of what is it? I'm assuming the city of Pacoima at the time. Chavez Ravine residents were also told that the land would be used for public housing and that those who were displaced could return to live in housing projects.
Right.
Hey, this is what they were going to supposedly build right there. Circa 1952, artist sketch of Chavez Ravine, one of the 3 proposed projects in Elysian Park that the mayor expected to ask to be abandoned. One way or another, by choice or by force, most residents of the 3 neighborhoods had left Chavez Ravine by 1953 when the Elysian Park Heights project fell apart. All of a sudden, the project falls apart, right?
Right.
New projected housing project is forcing many old-timers like Julian on wagon to move from Chavez Ravine to new quarters. Later, the area became part of the baseball stadium of the Los Angeles Dodgers instead. Opposition to planned public housing. Norris Paulson, the new mayor of Los Angeles, opposed public housing as un-American, as did many business leaders who wanted the land for private development. Imagine that. That's what do you call that? That's what you call manifest destiny, man.
Right.
The city bought back the land at a much lower price from the Federal Housing Authority with the agreement that the city would use it for a public purpose.
So we can wrap it up. The way.
Come on, yeah. By 1957, I'll just read this document. By 1957, the area had become a ghost town. Only 20 families, holdouts who had fought the city's offers to buy their land, were still living in Chavez Ravine. The Dodger vote and forcible evictions. In June of 1958, voters approved by a slim 3% margin a referendum to trade 352 acres of land at Chavez Ravine to the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Walter O'Malley. So they gave him the land, and there's the families, right, that were left. The following year, the city began clearing the land for the stadium. On Friday, May 9th, 1959, bulldozers and sheriff's deputies showed up to forcibly evict the last few families in Chavez Ravine. Residents of the area called it Black Friday. Sheriff's deputies kicked down the door of the Archiegas family home. Movers hauled out the family's furniture. The residents were forcibly escorted out. Aurora Vargas, 36, was carried kicking and screaming from her home at 1771 Malvina Avenue by 4 deputies. Minutes later, her home was bulldozed. Crews eventually knocked down the ridge separating the Sulphur Cemetery ravines and filled them in, burying Palo Verde Elementary School in the process. So destroyed the school. It's just angry, man. The Arechiga family, led by 66-year-old matriarch Abdana Arechiga, camped amid the rubble for the next week before finally giving up. Then they held down to the end, man.
Yeah, no, he fought. He fought. And you know what? I'll tell you this: that the European, the oppressor, he's been the devil for the longest.
Right.
And we know that.
Right.
We know what he's done. What kind of gets to me is the ignorance of Chicanos and Mexicans,
right,
and their lack of compassion for their own people. You know how they don't care. That's what kind of is like. You know, like really, y'all don't care about what happened to your people. But when the Palestinians are getting their land taken from them, you guys are fighting for Palestine all over Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, talking about fight for Palestine. You know, boycott Starbucks and boycott McDonald's because, you know, the Israelis are doing that to the Palestinians. But when it comes to your own people, you don't care. It doesn't matter to you. You know, that's in the past. You know, so what? You know, oh, but I love the Dodgers, and you know, that's, you know, it's, you know, the family and the kids. Like, come on, man. You like our people are like zero compassion. That's what it is. Don't care at all about our own, man, but quick to show love to another nation, another race of people, and so quick to hate your own.
Right.
You know, like the evidence and the, you know, the history is right there in your face. You can look it up and you'll find it on what they did to our people. Not just Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium, but 1,000 other things as well. Right. And they still won't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's fine, man, because you know what? World War III is coming. World War III is at the door. And in a minute, Dodger Stadium gonna get burnt the hell up, and it won't mean a goddamn thing, and it'll be forgotten. You know what I mean? And all your little vain, all everything that you believe in, you know, all your American dream and your career and all that's gonna get burnt up in fire. It's gonna be forgotten, and you'll be forgotten too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's a little bit left. I don't want if I could just read it.
Go ahead.
Crews broke ground for Dodger Stadium 4 months later on September 17, 1959. While it was being built, the Dodgers played games at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. There's the construction, right?
Right.
To tore down the houses, the school, all that to build this. The 56,000-seat Dodger Stadium opened on April 10th, 1962, on a site that thousands of people had once called home.
Right.
That's right there, man. That's the celebrating the stealing of your land and destruction of your community.
And look, this is just one piece of it. We're gonna show footage as well.
Right.
Of the people that lived on Chavez Ravine and how they felt about Dodger Stadium.
Right.
You know, we're showing you articles, but wait till we show you footage of how the people felt. You know, the kids, like those kids that you showed on those pictures,
right?
They're grown now,
right?
What they're about 70 years old, and they're telling you about the history of Chavez Ravine, what it was like, what the neighbors were like, the childhood memories,
right?
You know, and of course, when they took it from them. Go ahead.
It is currently the third oldest major league ballpark still in use after Fenway Park and Wrigley Field. And there's that double Fred O'Malley. And that's it.
So that's a quick little history of Chavez Ravine. You know, of course, if you're Mexican, you know, if you're Latino, you Black, you live in LA, look at the history of Chavez Ravine. Look at the history of the Dodger Stadium. Look at where you're going. You all fired up about the Dodger game and all that, but look at the land that you're going. You know, look at look where you're at.
Well,
y'all want to say something?
Yeah, if I could, Raza, you can say no. You don't have to, accept this. You know, you don't have to like the Dodgers. You know what I mean? You can take a stand and say no. You can have pride in your people. That doesn't make you, lame or boring. As a matter of fact, America will respect you more if you stop liking the Dodgers because of the situation.
How much money would the Dodgers lose?
Billions. They lose billions if the Raza will stop supporting them. That picture I showed you earlier of Mexican Heritage Night at Dodger Stadium, that's an insult right there, man. You know what I mean? That's exactly what that's a spit in the face. You know what I mean? But that's what Raza should wake up to, man. Anything you want to say, Josh?
Man, all I gotta say is, man, we at ISUPK, start out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native that you are the children of the Most High God. This is the inconvenient truth, man. Hispanics, Blacks, because it's not only starting right here in this article, in this story of Chavez Ravine, but it's right now in your community. World War III is popping off. And if you don't wake up, you'll be a part of the victimized and the crimes and the unalive that they have committed against us, man. That being said, shalom.
To me, it was just.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Adawan?
Man, make sure you tune in, man. Tune in to the Inconvenient Truth. We back live. You know, I'm preaching Officer Lahab. You got preaching Officer Malakma. Preaching Officer Pudashi Allah. You know, we're going to touch it. Not just Jamaicans, Central Americans, South Americans, you know, everything that has to do with our people.
Right.
It's important for our people to know what's going on. Right. You know, it's important for you to know your history, where you come from. You know, don't be blind by American culture, American holidays, you know, the false American dream, your everyday life, you know, going to your job. You know, a lot of these things that happen in your life, they blind you from what is really going on, right, and blind you from the history of where you come from. You know, it's important to know who you are, where you come from, you know, understand, you know, where your, you know, what your bloodline is. You know, that's what we're here to do, is to wake you up,
right,
wake you up to who you are, your identity, and, you know, understand what your purpose in life is. You know, there's the ISPK under Commander Rihanna. This is our show, right, The Inconvenient Truth. Tune in, follow, like, subscribe, you know, and for that, that's the end. Shalom.
Okay, go in a second. Let me just set this real quick.
We all here?
No, we're still live. We're still live. Hold on. Gotta close it out with this.
Maldito sea todos estos perros gringos, todos, y que las maldiciones de Dios lleguen hacia ellos.
Cuando me activo saco el cuerno de chivo. Todo lo que digo yo lo he vivido, haciendo oraciones entre mis suspiros. Muerte por un gringo es negativo y sigo. Estamos en guerra con estos gabachos, hijos de perra, y espera. Ellos son de Inglaterra, en barcos llegaron a nuestra tierra, se aferran que somos ilegales, que toda nuestra raza son criminales, corrales. Es donde nos encierran, sin causa, motivo, nos encierran, quisieran acabar con nuestra gente, pero aquí estamos, hasta el presente, y muerte es lo que está presente, unida nuestra gente, la raza está más fuerte, la escuela israelita, donde no corremos con edomitas, todo de la Biblia ellos predican, y a toda nuestra gente se le avisa.
Llegado lo que esperan, guerra mundial tercera, que todos los gringos se caigan y mueran. Cobro condenas y ya sacar lo ordena. Con líricas mortales prosigue el asalto. No somos cobardes ni menos cristianos. Crúcense la línea y en corto los castro. Malditos gaballos cazan nuestros pasos. Así es, raza, si no los conoce les presento a Satanás, porque todos los putos son de la Ku Klux Klan. Así es, mi gente, póngase trucha. No me ande ellos iconeando quiénes somos nosotros para andar hincando a toda la bola de